Good evening and welcome to the Entrepreneurship World Cup for Trinidad and Tobago. My name is Crystal Legrand and I am the representative of the Entrepreneurship World Cup Caribbean team. And I bring greetings to you from the entire Caribbean region. We are excited to be here tonight to see what Trinidad and Tobago entrepreneurs have to offer the global audience of the Entrepreneurship World Cup. Tonight, we'll be selecting a winner to represent Trinidad and Tobago in the regional finals taking place on November 20th this month. So a few days away from the regional finals. So Trinidad cutting it a bit close to the deadline, but nevertheless, we know that the entrepreneurs are excited and ready to present their businesses on this global platform. So before we get started, I would like to recognize the national organizer for 2022, Ms. Peridot Webster, and allow her a moment to bring her greetings for this evening. Peridot, over to you.
All right, good evening. Thank you very, very much, Ms. Legrand, and welcome everyone and congratulations to all of the finalists. And I wish for you nothing but good success this evening, and with every move that you make where business is concerned. This year I am on the other side of the fence, for want of a better phrase. And I really would like to thank Dr. Brandon and Ms. Legrand for having the confidence in me to be the national organizer this year. It has truly, now that I've experienced both sides, I can surely say to you, and I think I would have mentioned to some of you, even if you don't quote unquote win, the amount of networks that are opened up to you as a result of participating in this competition, you cannot put a price tag on it. And I just want to thank the judges, Mrs. Rahim, Ms. Alexander, and Mr. Smith for coming on to support us. And again, good luck everyone, and good success to you in all of your ventures.
Thank you so much, Ms. Webster, and thank you for your working contribution to this event. As I mentioned, the EWC Caribbean is spearheaded by a group of entrepreneurs and led actually by Dr. Marcia Brandon. Unfortunately, tonight, Dr. Brandon could not be here with us, but I do bring greetings from her. Dr. Marcia Brandon is the regional organizer of EWC Caribbean. She is the co-founder and managing director of the Caribbean Center for Excellence and Sustainable Livelihoods, COESL. EWC Caribbean is implemented throughout the Caribbean by her organization. So on behalf of the EWC Caribbean team at COESL, Mr. Fort from Red Diamonds, and myself, Crystal Legrand from Legrand Voyages, Dr. Brandon would like to wish all the finalists from Trinidad and Tobago every success, not just for the first place winner, but that goes on to the regionals, but also all of you as you continue to grow and build your business and build sustainable businesses, creating jobs within your networks and within your nation, and impacting the socio-economical, political, cultural fabric of your society and ultimately the region. So please share your dream. This is what Dr. Mannion admonishes that you do. Share your dream. Tell your story like no one else can, and have fun. So Dr. Brandon absolutely emphasizes the fact that we should all have fun and enjoy the moment in the spotlight. You never know who may be listening. So at this time, you might be presenting in a competition, but because this is a global platform, this can be viewed by audiences across the globe. So present your heart out. Dr. Brandon would sincerely like to thank Ms. Peridot Webster, who is our reigning champion for Trinidad and Tobago, and she would like to thank her for all the contributions she's made to making this event possible in Trinidad tonight. So thank you so much, Peridot, and on behalf of Dr. Brandon, and as well as the COESL team and the EWC Caribbean team, we're really appreciative of the work that you have done to gather your fellow entrepreneurs here tonight. Before we go on, we have one more welcome address, and that is from the Entrepreneurship World Cup global organization that spearheads this initiative, and that is the Gen Global. Gen Global's president, Mr. Jonathan Altman, will be sharing his welcome address tonight with you. Enjoy.
I'm Jonathan Altman, and thanks to the organizers, the judges, the investors at today's Entrepreneurship World Cup National Finals. A very big special thanks, however, to all of our competitors. You're not just the doers and the dreamers of our society, but you're taking the risks. You're the ones that are helping us to navigate through a period of uncertainty, addressing some of the big challenges of our day, ranging from climate change to emerging from this pandemic, and of course all of the frontier issues that are faced by our various industry verticals around the world. You know, Gen Global, we began our journey about 15 years ago, focusing on the startup community development and on supporting the entrepreneurial support organizations that help to make your path easier. And 5 years ago, we decided to accelerate our work on the front line with you, the founders. It was marked and kicked off with Richard Branson in the opening of our first startup campus, now the largest in Africa, called 22 on Sloan in Johannesburg. And since then, we've reached more than 500,000 founders over the course of this last few years. We're very proud to say in that process, it's required developing early stage investor networks around the world. We've launched grants programs and of course provided a lot of accelerated support and launched the Founders Club. We're very, very excited to be intricately with you on this journey through the Entrepreneurship World Cup. So I want to invite you to stay with us. We're in it for the long haul. Either get involved in one or more of our programs on the ground, we're in most countries, or come meet us in person. Our next live gathering, which we do every year, is called the Global Entrepreneurship Congress. And the next one will be May 1 through 4 of 2023 in Melbourne, Australia. So thanks for letting me take a few seconds to wish you luck today and to thank you for all you do in not just helping develop your own future, but that of your fellow citizens and the communities around you.
We are thankful to Jonathan Altman and the global organization of the Gen Entrepreneurship Network for making the Entrepreneurship World Cup available throughout the globe and especially to the Caribbean region. We're thankful that the resources of the Entrepreneurship World Cup span way beyond just a competition, but also towards helping entrepreneurs with resources, investments, and other potential tools that will help them to grow and scale their business. So I'm hopeful that all the entrepreneurs have taken advantage of all the resources that are available on the Entrepreneurship World Cup platform as they prepared for tonight's event. Nevertheless, this is the moment. And before we get started, we would love to introduce our judges for tonight. Ms. Webster, over to you with your introduction.
Yes. So now that I'm on the other side of the fence, Mrs. Rahim, you will go you will go first as our chief judge. So Mrs. Tanya Rahim is a youth parenting and family coach and leadership consultant with over 25 years of experience. Under her organization, the Leadership Lab, she and her team, they develop programs for families, schools, and within the community as well, providing one-on-one coaching. She's also the co-owner of the AHA Academy, a place where students are equipped at an opportune moment with the skill set they need to be better advocates for their own learning. She is also the founding member of the professional learning community at creating aha moments in the classroom. Mrs. Rahim is also bilingual and enjoys teaching Spanish to children, teens, as well as adults. She holds an executive master's in business administration from the Institute of Business, UWI St. Augustine. She's a licensed master practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming and a certified John Maxwell coach, trainer, and speaker. She's also a youth parenting and family coach and a youth mental health advisor. Thank you very, very much. Let's give her a round of applause. She has been a support. She was a support last year, and she has been more than a support this year, as now that I'm on the other side of the fence, as you would say. So thank you very much and welcome, Mrs. Rahim. She is also a chief judge. Up next, we have Miss Odetta Alexander. Miss Odetta Alexander, MA, BA honors. She has worked in the private and public sectors locally, regionally, and internationally, and began her professional career as a training facilitator at the Telecommunications Services of Trinidad and Tobago, TSCT. Ms. Alexander has also worked as the communications manager at the Caribbean HIV/AIDS Regional Training Network in Jamaica, before her most recent appointment as the Chief Executive Officer at the YMCA of Trinidad and Tobago. Ms. Alexander worked at the RBC Financial Caribbean Limited as the rebranding project manager, in which she successfully introduced the RBC brand to several Caribbean territories. Furthermore, Ms. Alexander is also the managing director and owner of OCA Fashion and Gift Boutique and Soca Hair and Beauty Products. She read for a master's degree in communications for social and behavioral change from the University of the West Indies, Mona campus in Jamaica, and a BA in anthropology and communications at the York University in Toronto. She has been extensively trained to develop, deliver, manage, and evaluate development communication campaigns for social and behavioral change and youth programs. Thank you very, very much. Let's give her a round of applause. Where are you that I'm not seeing you? You're right here?
Hi, sorry, I'm trying to multitask. Sorry. Hi, guys.
So welcome,
thank you,
and thank you very much. And last and certainly not least, we have Mr. Luke Smith, our final judge. Mr. Luke Smith has a Bachelor of Science degree in Environmental Natural Resources Management and Agribusiness, with certificates in Natural Resources Management for Sustainable Rural Livelihoods, e-learning on digital agriculture, a certificate in Agri-Monitor, and is currently pursuing an MSc in Food Security. Additionally, he is the former Caribbean Regional Coordinator for Thought for Food, the world's pioneer and leader in next-gen innovation and startup acceleration for food and agriculture. Luke is also the Information Communication and Technology Officer of We Help Youth Farm, YFarm, an award-winning youth-led organization based in Trinidad, geared towards growing the future nourishers of tomorrow from the ground up. He is an award-winning agri-photographer and has experience in judging, presenting, and facilitating training and workshops. He firmly believes that every seed has the potential of an entire ecosystem within it. Mr. Smith, thank you very, very much for offering your time and your expertise. Let's give him a round of applause. So that's it for our judges.
Thank you so much, Ms. Webster. And there you have it. We have three judges who have loaned their time to us this evening to judge and be tasked with the responsibility of selecting someone to represent Trinidad and Tobago in the regional finals. So judges, thank you so much for your time and contributions tonight as you provide feedback and insight into the finalists and their business this evening. So, as you know, we're here all for the pitch presentations of entrepreneurs. Now that we've had all the introductions out of the way, let us get into the competition. Tonight, we have 5 finalists that will be pitching their businesses for 3 minutes. Each finalist will have the time to present their business and then followed by a round of questions from the judges. Each judge will have 2 questions per finalist just to mitigate the time because we want the onus to be on the presentation. So if we allow the judges to ask 20 questions, then that will kind of defeat the purpose of the presentation. So judges, I admonish you to try to limit to 2 questions and if necessary, then 3 questions. So finalists tonight, the judges will be, the criteria of the judging is people. So are you the right person to bring this business to fruition? And do you have the right team support to be able to bring it to light? Product. Is this the right time for this product? Have you thought through the research and development of your product enough that we can see the potential? And that leads me to potential. Do we see that this is the right time for this product? Have you done all the research that is necessary to bring this product to market? And if you are in the market, how are you carving out your space in the market? And then lastly, we have predictability. Can we determine from your presentation the scalability of your business and the growth potential? These are the 4 P's that the judges will be looking at: people, product, potential, and predictability. You have 3 minutes to prove to us that you have mastered the thought process, at least, of your business and have an execution plan to bring this product to market. And so without any further ado, we will be inviting our first finalist for tonight. And Ms. Webster, just remind me, who is the first finalist presenting tonight? You're on mute.
All right, we had a request. So Ms. Devika Suku of Devika's Fruits and Vegetables, she will be going first.
Thank you. So, Ms. Suku, we welcome you to start. If you do have a presentation, you can start sharing your screen. And if not, that is also okay. But you can definitely turn on your mic and turn on your camera because this is your moment in the spotlight. When you are ready, then let me know, and then your time will begin at your first word.
I would just like to say thank you for the opportunity to Ms. Webster for having confidence in me and being a finalist of one of the 5 persons here tonight. I'm deeply appreciative of this opportunity.
You're most welcome, Ms. Suku. So at your next word, your 3 minutes will begin. When your time is up, you will hear me say thank you, and that is an indication that you have exhausted your 3 minutes. Over to you.
No problem. So may I start? Okay, good night. My name is Devika Suku. I am 31 years of age. I have been involved in agriculture from a very tender age. However, I am also involved in agriculture. I am also the Vice President of the Agriculture Society. My business, as I said, is the Devika's Fresh Fruits and Vegetables. That will entail growing up from a young stage, having to be involved with my parents, being in the industry of agriculture. We would have started exporting to Barbados since 2001. However, having taken up that role from my parents' legacy, I always wanted to become one of the exporters here in Trinidad as a young person growing up in society. So during the pandemic, I, Devika Suku, was afforded the opportunity, having registered a business in the name of my name, afforded to send 2 containers of fresh produce from local farmers from their farm to Barbados during the pandemic, which was a very crucial stage for farmers here in Trinidad, because at that time, none of our farmers was able to go to the farmers markets here in Trinidad to sell their produce. Hence the reason Devika Suku, opened that market in Barbados for our farmers. And in so doing, our fresh produce was taken to the tables of the restaurants and supermarkets in Barbados to be able to have our farmers plight here in Trinidad, not at a standstill. It didn't go silent, but the farmers was able to benefit from this opportunity that taken their produce from the farms to an international market. However, having said all this, I am also one of the persons that were championing farmer groups throughout the Trinidad as a portfolio, being the vice president of the Agriculture Society. It didn't stop there. We had an opportunity to encourage younger farmers just like myself to venture into production and have their produce be sold to other countries like Dominican Republic and other prospering markets in St. Vincent and the Grenadines currently at this time. That's my presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Saku. And I will kickstart the judges' questions. Ms. Rahim, our chief judge for this evening. Over to you, Ms. Rahim, with your questions, for the finalists.
Thank you so much. And I want to say congratulations to Devika for doing something, taking an opportunity during the pandemic and turning it into something that's so very positive. My question to you, Devika, is one, where you're into Barbados right now, that is where you saw yourself during the pandemic. Do you have another country perhaps in mind that you're going to next? What's the next step for you?
Well, actually, we are looking into St. Vincent and Grenadines. We are also looking to import produce that we not able to grow here and source here in Trinidad. We are also importing produce from St. Vincent and Grenadines. And we're also looking for local markets for our farmers into St. Vincent and the Grenadines currently.
Thank you. And I think I'm allowed a second question, Crystal. My second question to you is that it sounds to me with all of this that you're doing that you must have a team in place to be able to do this. What would you say, as some of the strengths of the members of your team? And would you say that there's someone that's missing that you would like to have come on?
Well, basically, we're a team of 5 persons. Mm-hmm. I am the stronger one. I am the head. I am the carrier. Yes, we have a lot of persons behind me, but I have one person that she's a lawyer and she's involved deeply with the company. And we are also looking for markets in neighboring countries in the Caribbean.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Rahim. And over to our next judge, Judge Smith, over to you with your questions for our finalists this evening.
Hi, Devika. Always great to see you and congratulations.
Thank you, Luke.
I have 2 quick questions. I know you spoke about shipping to Barbados. What I wanted to find out, could you give me like some examples of what are some of the produce you ship, and do you have intention in the future to go into value-added products?
Certainly, Luke. Well, some of the main produce here from Trinidad I would have exported are watermelon and pineapple. Having been a farmer also of watermelon, growing my own watermelon, I have a 2-acre plot parcel, and I am a farmer, practicing farmer, and I am also looking to do some pineapple, more sweet pepper, but mainly watermelon and pineapple to start.
Great, thank you. And my other question has to do with we all would have realized that climate change is here, and us being involved in the agriculture sector, how are you encouraging your community to have climate resilient agriculture practices, to stop some of these flooding and stuff? Just your thoughts on moving forward into this industry.
Well, the heavy rainfall, for example, Ministry of Youth and Gender would have rolled out a shade house program, which I unfortunately was selected for that shade house program, but my heavy schedule, I had to decline one of that opportunity to go into that shade house. Having said that, yes, Luke, I am encouraging my farmers, the younger ones, to go into shade house production so that we have more growth, more sustainability. And with this climate change that we are experiencing, I am encouraging younger farmers like myself to go into shade house production.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And over to our next judge, Judge Odetta Alexander, with you for your questions for our finalists this evening.
Hi, good evening, Davika.
Hi.
First, let me say congratulations on being one of the few people in Trinidad who are passionate about agriculture, something that is really important, particularly during these times when food security is an issue among regional and international forums. So thank you for that, and thank you for being very innovative in your approach to agriculture. My question, I only have one. Can you give me two positive impacts that you can see coming out of you winning this competition? Can you tell me two gains that you can leverage if you are the winner of this competition?
Well, one of it is networking. Once successful, I would like to, expand my networking throughout the region, throughout the Caribbean, internationally. Basically, I have been involved in a lot of workshops throughout the world, as far as Ethiopia and Mexico, and I would like to continue my networking with my neighboring islands. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? You have just one, just networking?
Sorry, I didn't, sorry?
Just networking, I asked for two.
What was the next question?
No, I asked, can you give me two benefits? That you
Okay,
can
two benefits. Okay,
Yeah.
yes. So one is networking, and another one is expanding production for our local farmers and having to see more local farmers having their produce exported on our international markets.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Davika.
Sure.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Sakul, for your presentation this evening, and congratulations for spearheading the competition tonight and being the first finalist to pitch in this competition. You're welcome to stick around with us. At the end of the event, you will find out if you will be moving forward to the regional finalists. But nevertheless, we wish you all the best in your business as you continue to develop, grow your concept, and impact the agriculture of Trinidad and Tobago. So much success to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Over to our next finalist this evening. Next up, we have Mr. Stephen Edwards. Mr. Edwards, you to start.
We have Miss Cheyenne Copy Young going now.
Ah,
I had another change.
no problem. Change. Well, as entrepreneurs, we know how to adapt. So, Ms. Syed, over to you then. With your presentation for this evening, I invite you to start sharing your screen. If you have a presentation, turn on your mic and your camera and join us in the spotlight.
Thank you very much. So let me just open my screen.
Sure.
Okay, what is that?
As you're getting ready, so you know, just like the finalists that went before you, you will also have 3 minutes to present your business. When you hear me say thank you, then you know that you have exhausted your 3 minutes and your time is up. After your presentation, you will also have a round of judges' questions.
Okay, no problem. Hold
Yeah.
on. Let me
No?
just.
Okay, I'm seeing you now. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just trying to share this. I'm on my tablet, so I'm trying to figure this
Ah,
out because I don't have my I'm not at home, so I'm trying to do this from my tablet. So my sincerest apologies. Just give me 1 minute. Let me just try and sort this out. Otherwise, I'll just talk from my head. Right?
no, it's fine. And if you need assistance, we can walk you through it. So on the tablet, I believe you need to share your whole screen. So just make sure you have everything closed so that you don't want us to see. Um, and then open your presentation. What it will do, it will take off your camera, but that's okay. So while you're presenting, your camera will be off. It doesn't allow the function to have both at the same time on the tablets, unfortunately.
Okay, no problem. Because I can see it open on my side. Just because of the tablet. Normally, with my laptop is no problem.
Right. So just share your full screen. You'll first see the Zoom presentation, and then you can lead us to your presentation itself.
Technology. I'm seeing photo documents because it's a PowerPoint, web URL, bookmark, screen, and camera. Do I select document? Because a
Yes.
PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay, so what I would do is I would allow Stephen to go while I sort this out because I don't want to keep us back too long. So Stephen can go and I will go right after him while I just pull this up. So would that be okay?
That's absolutely fine. And if needed, you can chat with me in the chat box. Yes?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. And so, like with every entrepreneurship venture, we always have to pivot and turn and make adjustments as we go along. And so is this competition. So, Mr. Stephen Edwards, I do invite you to present your business tonight in the competition. You can unmute and turn on your camera.
Yes, Sonia, is your boy Tokotin here. I want to say thank you.
I can see you very excited. That was the whole presentation, correct? You're starting your presentation?
Yes,
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Okay. I wasn't ready. But thank you so much for waking us up. Fantastic. So I don't want to kill your momentum. Over to you. At your first word, your 3 minutes does begin.
Yes, Sonia, it's your boy Tokotin here. And I want to say thank you. Thank you very, very much for the entrepreneur, that big one day World Cup. Yes, Sonia, to be a finalist, Sonia, I'm so proud. I'm happy like Papi. I want to say thank you. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. That character forms part of Theatre for Tots the Teens platform. He's affably known as Toko Tim. And this with other mediums of theater, animation, digital and audio books, we use as a medium to carry on traditions, morals, manners, and other cultural values to children of the Caribbean. What first started off as something for the children of Trinidad and Tobago has now expanded to a Caribbean brand. So as we speak, Tukutim is getting ready to perform at Anansi Song Splash. And I am here in Tobago on my anniversary. And that leads to the power of digitalization of content and cultural content. So Tukutim is actually going to be telling stories in a Nancy Song Splash. And I don't have to be there, but the message could be sent. And this is really the basis upon which Theatre for Tots the Teens the digital platform has been formed, and we see it expanding and growing to even more and more. Because if we have looked at Netflix, one of the biggest disruptors of the industry, we are seeing a greater appetite for content that is really culturally unique. But if you go to Netflix right now, unfortunately, you see no Caribbean content. And that's a huge opportunity that we have there to be creating content by Caribbean creators on a digital platform. And now I'll take any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Edwards, and thank you for that rendition of your voice. I will carry it over to our judge, Judge Rahim, with your questions for Mr. Edwards tonight.
What a pleasure it is to meet Toko Tim. Quite delightful. I was looking to hear a bit more. I was looking to hear a bit more, and I'm sure my fellow judges are going to ask you some questions to get us some more. So you talked about digital books, and could you tell us who your main audience is?
Okay, so our main audience will be primary and secondary school, because the program was really developed as a preemptive strike to a lot of the, deviant behavior. We had a program called Transformation Through Theater and Technology, where we use the arts to transform the lives of young persons who were like on the extended suspended list and so on. And what we realized is that a lot of the content that they were exposed to, they have never been exposed to in life, right? And what we decided that there's two things wrong with that. Children who are not deviant will not be exposed to that content. And we are exposing them to that content way too late. So we developed this platform to basically create a more, morals and manners and these traditions at a very earlier age. So if I were to say who it is for, it's ready for primary and secondary schools, the school system, and parents who, might be struggling, because we also have, as the platform Theater for Tots the Teens, we separate the teens aspect of it, and parents who might be dealing with teen issues have an opportunity to speak with experts. And so, yeah, that's basically our core audience.
Wonderful, and I'm always happy to hear that. As a youth coach myself, I'm quite happy to hear that. Could you share with us, because you're saying, as you're speaking now, it's happening because it's digital and it's already out there. Can you share with us perhaps one success story where your program or some aspect of your program has helped?
Okay, sure. Okay, so I'll answer it in a two-part, right? So when I spoke earlier about Theater for Tots the Teens, right? Transformation Through Theater and Technology, there was a young girl that I had in a camp who was from Gonzales, right? When I met her, she was one of the rudest young girls that I have ever met. But I saw her dribbling a dry coconut. And I said to myself, this young lady really is special. And so when she came to the camp, we really paid attention to her. And she's from Gonzales, so from a very, very early age, she has had a lot of trauma in her life. Her mother was actually killed by her aunt. And so today, that same young lady is now married. She is a national hockey player. She is at LSU, Long Island University, and she just came with first class, when on the honor roll, both for sports and education. And she's living in Long Island now, going to school there, and is the captain of both the junior and senior hockey team. So I would say that is one of the many success stories that we've had.
Thank you so much. And there's a lot of things I'd love to find out, but to be fair, I've got to pass on to my other judges.
No problem.
Thank you, Judge Rahim. And over to our next judge. Judge Luke, over to you with your questions for Mr. Edwards.
I took with Tim. Agreement. I have a question here. I know you spoke about content generation and putting on digital platform and stuff, and I know
Right.
that could be sometimes a bit costly. I just want
Yeah.
to know in terms of the financial stability of the work you're doing, how does that look like?
Well, luckily for me, I write, direct, produce, and act. So I'm also a voiceover artist. So a lot of the content I started on my own. So a lot of the books I wrote, right? And what happened is during the pandemic, when persons couldn't go anywhere, I decided to do a free course for voice actors and authors over around the Caribbean. So now I have a cadre of over 75 persons, right, who are contributing now all over the Caribbean. So it's not just Tokotim anymore. We have Jamaica, Jim. We have stories from Grenada, you name it. And we continue to expand because I continue to invest in workshops because what I want to really see is actual films, full films, feature films coming out of the Caribbean. So that's a big part of the program, and I will be now doing premium training for content providers to do feature films. So because I have that particular skill set, it was easier to produce the content. But now I can't produce enough content because if you think about it, I will take 9 months to do a feature film, at least, right? At least. And that might be 70 minutes long. But that is 9 months of my life. Somebody will consume that in an hour and a half. So we can't really generate enough content for things like that. So the thing about it is that I'm heavily invested in training persons to do what I do and even better, so that I can, take a backseat, because doing Tokotim all the time is be exhausted.
Great, thank you so much. I guess my follow-up question was going to be, in terms of your team setup, that support system that you have there. I know you said Tokotim is you, most of the technical part is you, but do you have, apart from the persons you're training, do you have some core members around you?
Well, yes, I do have core members because I first started off in theater. Right? So I have a lot of and theater is something that attracts people from all walks of life. So we do have a core group, but in addition to that, I mean, one of the things that I do in training is that we are in the age of subcontractors. So a lot of the services, because I'm doing it in this time, had I been doing it 10 years ago, it would have been very, very difficult. But because of things like Fiverr and so on, you find that it's a lot cheaper and a lot easier to produce. And so you have persons now just supervising processes as opposed to building it from the ground up. There are certain things that I am building from the ground up. For instance, I've made a partnership with 2D Animation 101, and I will be building my own animation company within the Theatre for Touch the Teens brand. But one of the other things that save us is partnerships. We make really great partnerships all over the world. And so that helps us to compete at an international level, but also expand faster than, the regular organization.
Thank you so much. I look forward to hearing more about Tokotim in the future.
Yeah, man, I did. What you mean?
Awesome. And over to our next judge, Judge Alexander, over to you with your questions for Tokotim.
Hi, Tokotim.
Yes, ma'am.
You really woke us up, and I appreciate that because it was really different. I want to ask you, I just have one question, but it has like 4 parts, right?
That's fine.
Because what touched me and what you said was when you spoke about the Netflix landscape and the fact that it has no Caribbean content, and what that opportunity could mean. If, let's say, you were presented with an opportunity to meet with an executive in Netflix, right? And you have a 2-minute elevator speech. Can you do a SWOT analysis? And by SWOT, I mean strength, Name one strength, one weakness, one opportunity, and one threat to your proposed business model for the theatre for tots.
Sure. One strength is the dynamism, right? So you're not asking me to do an elevator pitch, right? You're just asking me to do a SWOT.
Yeah,
correct?
that's
I just want to, right. So one strength is the dynamism, right? So unlike Netflix, and Netflix started off very, very well, where they started doing content from all types of people. But where Netflix is dropping the ball, from as far as I'm concerned, is that they are doing one form of content, which is video. Now we are speaking here on a mobile device, right? And this mobile device is a smart device, let's say. It's capable of many things. It's capable of doing books, it's capable of doing video, it's capable of doing animation, it's capable of doing games. This is where Amazon has now trumped Netflix, because Amazon now creates a lot more products for this one device. So I would say one of my strengths is, the diverse types of media. One of the weaknesses obviously will be we don't have the budget capacities to do as much as a Netflix would be able to do, or other competitors internationally. All right. But it doesn't mean that we can't get it done. We just need to know how to sell it. So for instance, I'm writing a book right now, a children's book called Why the Turkey Can't Sing for Thanksgiving, right? Now, Trinidad doesn't have anything to do with Thanksgiving, but Thanksgiving is a trend right now around the world. And for what Christmas is to Trinidadians, Thanksgiving is for the US market. So one of the things that we can do is just tweak the titles that we have and tweak the content that we have to kind of fool the market, but still get our culture. Because Tokotim is featured in that book, right? He starts the book and tells the story of why the turkey. So now that book in itself, let's say it does 5,000 sales, let's just say, right? 5,000 persons. Then I have now 5,000 persons coming to the platform and getting content. So that's the weakness, yes, but that's how we will overcome it. The opportunity we have is that people love the Caribbean. If we travel, everybody always wants us to talk. Everybody always wants us to cook for them. And that's a big cultural appreciation. Talk a little Trini for me now, talk a little Trini for me now, talk a little Bajan for me now, right? Anywhere, all of our, and it may not be, it wouldn't be our family, but they love to hear our accents. They love to a lot of bloggers make millions of dollars coming down here and just recording what we do every day. So the opportunity is there because there's the appetite for what we do. What we have not mastered is taking advantage of that opportunity because of the way that we package it. And we package Trinidad and Tobago, and by extension, the Caribbean as just carnival. So people just feel that we come on the beach and play mass all year through. And there's so many things that we have to offer. The biggest threat I think that we have is the unappreciation of what it takes to really get artistic work out. This like 5 minutes of Toko Tim, right? When I'm finished doing a Toko Tim production, I am gassed because of the high level of, and this is not who I am. I am really and truly very introverted, right? But we don't take into consideration what artists do in order for us to produce that. And that's a huge threat in the Caribbean, because if you tell your mother or your father you want to be an actor in Trinidad and Tobago, they tell you, go and find a real job. But anywhere else in the world, artists can make a living doing what they do. So the biggest threat, I would say, especially from the Caribbean region, is the underappreciation of arts and artistic work. So I hope I answer your question.
Yeah, you did, and you actually gave more than one thread because when you were closing, you spoke about international bloggers who come down to Trinidad and make money. So people are coming
Yes.
into the Caribbean and making money, but yet still there's a
Yes.
disconnect within the local market in terms of people accepting it. So that's actually true. So thank you, Stephen.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Edwards, and for livening up the competition tonight with Toko Tim. Congratulations on presenting your business in this national competition tonight, and we look forward to seeing more from you. We will definitely be following you and looking out for Toko Tim as you progress forward. So much success and stick with us. We will see if Toko Tim will be making it to the regionals come November 20th.
Appreciate. Marjorie, you're born in the bake again, girl. You're born in the bake. Or you're gone.
Thank you so much to Toko Tim. And back to our finalist, Miss Young. Over to you. I did see a presentation pop up a few seconds ago, so I'm hopeful that you got everything sorted. Yes, you did.
Yes,
Fantastic.
I did. Yes, I did.
So just like all the finalists that went before you, you have 3 minutes to present. When your time has elapsed, I will say thank you, and that is your indication to stop presenting. Over to you, and at your first word, your time will begin.
Thank you. Wasting waste is one of the most wasteful things you can do because waste is too valuable to be wasted. I am Shan Kafi Young, founder and CEO of a social enterprise based in Trinidad and Tobago called Sile Environmental, with a mission to transform the way you think and act towards waste, because waste is simply sexy. Oops. We do this through our products and services, our waste education and literacy program for children and youth, of which our children's book is at its core, and I'm the proud author. Our online courses, such as the one for composting, which is now available on the international platform called Udemy, our business programs, which include consultancy, training, and our digital workbooks, and of course, our speaking engagements. As a result of our ecosystem of services, eco-conscious individuals and businesses cracked the code on their sustainability impact, improved their overall waste literacy, reduce their spend on waste disposal costs, and choose alternative methods of disposal other than landfilling. It is important to us here that we place our customers at the center, and so we are looking for persons and individuals that are really passionate about social impact investing and wanting to work with a company that is founded on the 3 Ps of people, planet, and profit. So we want to be able to grow the distribution of our children's book across Trinidad and Tobago and through the Caribbean region, because every child deserves one, to develop the first online platform, 100% waste courses, and to be able to expand our business program to also include the collection and processing of organic material. And so our team is poised and ready to take Sile forward. We have almost 50 years of experience among us, and I have 17 years of experience in the field, and our goal is really to replicate the education model of Sile and the business model of Sile into as many Caribbean islands as possible. So firstly, we're going to go after the food and beverage businesses and the food and beverage manufacturers, then moving on to the supermarket chains, and finally, the hotel guest houses. Because for us, it is not always about doing things better, but sometimes we simply need to do better things. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Kafi Young, and congratulations on your presentation tonight. We will kickstart your judges' questions with Judge Ryan. Over to you with your questions for Ms. Young.
Okay, thank you so much. And that was, it is really, I must make a point here that it's so heartwarming to see these types of businesses. There's clearly a difference here. There's so many wonderful things that you can look forward to in the in our country and the Caribbean as a whole. My question to you would be, how, you talked about educating to the children with the book and so on. How do you see your organization really getting and reaching an appreciation? Because is there really an appreciation in the in our country for the environment? Have you seen a change over the years since you started doing this? That's part A of the question. Have you seen any changes? And if you haven't, what do you think will really make a difference by what you're doing?
Thank you very much for the question. So I have seen slow progression as it pertains to the environmental field. One of the areas that doesn't get a lot of attention is waste management. We have conversations around climate change, we have conversations around conservation and biodiversity in the environmental field specifically. But waste, normally, I always say waste is last to the table. It's last, it's like the child you leave in the corner and you forget them. So for me, I have seen slow changes in terms of educating the public about waste, but there's still a lot to be done. And the second part of the question, I think, is critical. It's two things. One, we have to realize the importance of engaging at the community level, but we also have to pay attention to how we educate. A lot of the programs that currently exist in Trinidad and Tobago are solely based on increasing knowledge. But based on my experiences and my training in behavior change, an increase in knowledge does not correlate to a change in behavior. That's a proven fact. And so if we keep throwing knowledge at people, it doesn't mean that they're going to change what they're doing. This littering is still happening. People still throwing things out of their cars. And so we really have to address the barriers to engagement to really get people to do the kinds of behavior that we want. But a lot of people aren't willing to take the time to do that.
Thank you.
Well,
I'm just checking in to see if you had another question. Yes. Nevertheless, over to our next judge, Judge Luke Smith. Over to you with your questions for our finalists.
Hi, Sean. Always a pleasure to see you again. So I have well, probably two questions, but the first one, besides the financial part of it, if you were successful winning, what would be your big ask besides the financing?
Besides the money, the big ask is we really want assistance with marketing and distribution. I think I have, I know that I've done a lot and I continue to do so, but I don't think I've leveraged the opportunities well. And so I feel like the need to really get some good marketing support, because that will also help us be able to affect our distribution and also support in getting into new markets. So those are the things that I will ask for.
Great, thank you. And I know you spoke about basically the circular economy when you spoke about the organic waste collection, if I'm not mistaken. I just want, out of curiosity, what is the intent of the organic waste that you do collect? I just want to know where you're going with that.
Right. So right now, what we do is that we teach people how to manage their own organic waste through home composting classes. And that's why I talked about the composting for tropical climates class. So we do it through that means. But when we started going to businesses and doing the education and the training, they have started to ask us, well, Shan, we just put it in the dumpster and it goes to the landfill. Can you support us with source separation, separate collection, and we would prefer if you use it and turn it into something else. And so that is what we have been doing. All right. And so it's an evolution, right? It's an evolution of the process. So that's what we want to be able to really do.
Thank
so
you so much. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Luke.
Thank you so much. And over to our final judge, Judge Alexander, over to you with your questions for our finalists.
So hi, Cyan.
Hi.
I I don't know what to say because I really loved your presentation.
Thank you.
I have a penchant for the environment. I have a penchant for people who work towards science. Let me give you a minute. Some child distracting you.
In 2 competitions right now, so trying to see if they call in my name just now.
Okay. All right, no problem. You're multitasking. That's part of entrepreneurship. You want us to hold on, or let me hold on?
Right, go ahead. Back with you now. They're not
Okay.
calling me.
All right. Okay, no problem. So I was saying that I love your platform. I love your cause.
Thank you.
My first question is, what was the reason? What was your passion for the environment that got you? It's because waste is not. Let's face it. Waste is not sexy. Waste is, and that's why nobody talks about it because it's not sexy. And but it's definitely is a part of the whole climate change discussion that we have to have, but it's not sexy. So tell me why waste? And you have a background in behavior change, and I have, so do I. So I wanted to hear what was the reason for waste, and where do you see it going as part of the whole climate change movement, locally, regionally, and internationally?
Okay, so why waste? To answer that question, I have to go all the way back to my childhood because that's where my love of waste first started. So there are two reasons behind it. One, my father has been in Cub Scouting for longer than I've been on the planet, more than 40 years. And he taught me the conservation law, which is you always leave a place cleaner than you've met it. And so I have always been picking up not only after myself, but after other people as well. And so I always tell people, waste is not just what I do, it's who I am. I grew up with it, it's part of my DNA. I've denied it for a long time, but it kept chasing me around. And then the second reason is that when I was 10 years old, I had a really informative and transformative experience where a loaded camper hit me in my face while I was swimming in Chagaramas one day. And I didn't understand why people could be so nasty. I was only 10 years old. But that really developed in me the desire to want to do more, to want to be different. So that's where it all started. Also, I actually used to work for SwimCall, for the solid waste management company, for a number of years. And so that's where I gained my practical experience in waste management. So combining and then of course I ventured into, well, my academic background, I call myself an environmental scientist because I have a double major honors in physics and a master's in environmental engineering. And so for me, gaining that practical experience really opened the door. And I saw the things that SwimCall couldn't do at the time that I wanted to do, and it presented an area of opportunity. So me getting into behavior change was critical because I saw that we kept doing the same things over and over, but nothing was changing. And I would go to conferences and they would say, we need more public education and awareness. And I got to the point, I was like, no, we don't need more of it. We need to do it differently. And so that is why I started SIAL, is because I wanted the opportunity to do it differently. I wanted the opportunity to reach people where they were at the community level, to have the hard conversations, to take the licks. But people ain't doing that because I think we don't address some of the harder challenges that we have because they may have the resources and they just want to spend the money. But in order for us to bring about the real change, we have to have a strong willingness to want to do differently. And so for me, working in this space, because I was working in other sectors, I diverted to mining a little bit, but I always came back to waste. It's like my center. So that's why I do this.
Okay. So thanks for sharing that. It provides us some context. So tell me, what would you do? So because you just admitted that it's not something that is treated the right way, and we have talked about it over and over again. So have you thought about changing the landscape of it in terms of either the methodology, either using more edutainment or possibly entering the digital spaces? Are those two things that you would think about? And
yeah, for sure. Especially with the entering into the digital space, it was important for me to transition my courses to online so that they can be easily accessible. It's a self-paced course. You don't have to work, you don't have to wait on me anymore because my schedule is all over the place. So people can pay for the course and take it at their own time, and they have access to it for a lifetime. And then the other part as well too is, for us, for a long time, I stayed away from the collection and processing side. One, because I felt that there was a larger monopoly at play with big companies. But the more I ran away from it, is the more it chased me. And because I started getting asked specifically, like repeatedly, Chan, we need somebody to provide a service. We don't know anybody who provides the service. Would you be willing to do that? And so that's where I was like, okay, let me take it beyond the consultancy, beyond the education, beyond the training, and and get into the collection and processing side, because I also see that as an opportunity for us to escalate the business, 1,000-fold, because it's more of we're making a tangible product. Education is intangible, people can't see it. But the wonderful thing is that the space is growing, waste is becoming more and more prominent. It intersects with all of the different environmental spaces. It affects them all. It affects climate change, it affects biodiversity, it affects conservation. And so I see it as my responsibility to really bring waste to the table and for us to change the discussion, and to also effect realistic policy, not just to have more laws, but make them work and enforce them wherever possible.
Okay. All right, good. Thank you. Thank you so much, Cyan. Thank you. And
Thank
good luck
you.
in any other competition as well.
I did not win, but I am super grateful for the opportunity. But that's all right.
Okay.
As the Jamaicans say, I saw it go.
Okay, Cyan. Thank you so much.
All right, bye-bye.
Yes, thank you so much, Ms. Capion, for your presentation and for being involved in so many different things at the same time. The true entrepreneurial spirit to be multitasking in 2 competitions in one night is commendable. We wish you all the best as you continue to progress forward and champion the works behind the better management of waste. So continue to progress, continue to champion this message, and we wish you success. Stick with us. You may never know, you may be advancing forward in the regional competition. So stick around with us. We will be here, and we'll move forward to our next 2 finalists for tonight. We have 2 more finalists before we send our judges off to their deliberations. And our next finalist is Miss Kathy. I invite you to start sharing your screen and opening up your mic. And if you don't have a presentation, that is also okay. So Miss Kathy, over to you. Are you ready? I see you queuing up your screen, so we're excited to see.
Yes, I am. I am ready.
Yes, once you have your presentation ready, then I'll hand over to you. Like your finalists before you, you have 3 minutes to present your business at your first word. Once your presentation is queued up, then your time will begin. Are you going to go full screen on your presentation, or you prefer to present it this way?
Are you able to see the presentation?
We can see the presentation, but we also see your slides on the side. So you could go full screen by pressing the play button. Sorry.
Okay.
Or you can, there you go. Perfect. So over to you, and at your first word, your time will begin.
Good night, everyone. My name is Katia Severia Snacks. The name of my business is Mitsu Naturals. My slogan is from the earth to you. So basically what we do, we harness the mud from the volcanoes of Trinidad and Tobago, and we create organic skincare products. Some of our products are volcanic mud soaps, dried milled mud packages. Also, we have face and body scrubs, mud masks, packages. Our target audience are women between the ages of 18 to 60 who lives a healthy lifestyle or a holistic lifestyle. In 2015, the Microbeads Free Waters Act was passed by the US Senate. In this act, they banned all usage of microbeads and microplastics from skincare products within the industry. So they would have done this to eliminate the amount of negative impact that the microbeads and microplastics was causing in the waterways. So within that time frame, Mitsu Naturals would have seen the need and the opportunity to create an alternative solution to this problem. Growing up in Rancho Quemado, it provided quite a foundation and knowledge in the interactive use of mud volcanic. And so I would have known about I would have gotten a lot of knowledge in terms of the natural phenomena known as the volcanoes in Trinidad and Tobago. These volcanoes consist of clays, sulfur, and also minerals. So they are basically mineralized content. I would have done a lot of research and development over the years through utilizing volunteers, geologists, as well as utilizing the Fitzpatrick scale measurements and observations to bring this product to market quality. I would have also utilized the market exposure through artisan markets, participating in tours, educating customers on the benefits of the natural resources in Trinidad and Tobago via the mud, also telling my story through interviews and newspapers. We actually got rave reviews, actual customer feedback, and so our business would have progressed. We have growth opportunity in the market, such as improved production capacity. We believe that with improved production capacity, we can do local business expansion, and we will be ready for export readiness. So with this, I want to say that we are proud to say that we have leveraged a new niche market and also create a benchmark within the industry and a new sector. So we invite you to purchase the experience with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cassidy. So congratulations on your presentation. We invite, yes, welcome back. We invite Judge Rahim to begin the judges' questions for this evening.
Okay, thank you very much, Kathy. I loved your slide. I thoroughly enjoyed the pictures as a woman between 18 to 60. I think it's very inviting to try your product for sure. So my question really is, so I heard you talk about your marketing. You're doing it through the artisan market. You have had interviews, and you're using Facebook. Do you have intentions of how do you plan to expand your marketing? How can somebody, because soap is something that a lot of people, there's so much variety of soap that's available, and I'm sure your products have a lot of advantages and so on. How are you reaching more people in the age group that you're looking to reach?
So because our product is a niche market, it falls under a niche market, I have to do a lot more education. So I tend to go out and educate people via tours. So one of the vehicles that I use is, or mediums that I would use, is the Natural Trust. So when people come and they come on tours to the volcanoes throughout, they always ask, why aren't anyone making a product, or what do you utilize the volcano for? So there now they are able to explain that, okay, we have a young lady doing these soaps, these niche soaps, and so people are now getting a better understanding of the dichotomy, whereas the volcanoes lie. So everybody basically think that, okay, the volcano is dangerous, but then I am bringing a new light to the volcano and demonstrating that you could actually utilize the volcano for different things. So that education will be one aspect of that.
Wonderful. Great. And you talked about having your ask is improved product capacity. What does that mean? What do you need to have that?
So improved production capacity would really entail me developing a better system to improve on what I have now. Because my I would say the demand exceeds the output right now. I think I need to restructure, in a sense, as a micro business and upgrade a little more to please my market. Because since the launch of the soap business, it has been a drastic surge in the need for the product. So therefore, I have to really develop on the production capacity.
Okay, I want to beg to ask if that means additional equipment, and that would be my final question.
Yes, it does mean additional equipment.
Awesome. Thank you, Judge Raheem. And over to our next judge, Judge Smith, over to you with your questions for Ms. Kathy.
Thank you so much. I only wish men was a part of that demographic.
So even though I haven't stated men, we have seen a major following from the men, and I'm so thankful and grateful for that, because it was not a target market, but they came into the system as well. So I'm very thankful for that.
Great. So that's gonna lead me into my question. Actually, you spoke about the soaps. The first question is, do you have other intention or other lines of products that you're thinking about putting on the market? And the second question, are there any current barriers to accessing the mud from the volcano?
Okay, so I'll take the first one first. So yes, I do have products, but before putting the products out on the market, I really do rigorous testing as much as I can do to understand the different demands per product. So we do have the dry milled mud packets where people can actually purchase the mud and make their own concoctions. Whatever you decide to make, you can actually do that. So we dry the mud, sun-dried, and you can actually purchase it. Right, so that's the first one. We also do face masks, body scrubs, and face scrubs as well, utilizing the mud. So there's a different technique to doing each one of them. On your second question, as it regards to the legislative framework regarding the mud, the extraction of the mud, what we do, we try not to harm the environment. We work with the environment, so we tend to take the overflow of the volcano. That's one. And two, yes, I am in talks, which I would prefer not to say. Yes, I am having conversations to see how far it goes as it regards to the Mineral Act of Trinidad and Tobago in terms of blocking and mining, if it reaches that far. But we hope that it doesn't have to go that distance because of the overflow to which we work. We don't want to interfere with the sites as rigorous as some people may think, because we also speak about preserving the environment and understanding and teaching people about extracting the mud in a more holistic way. When I say holistic, if you come to the volcano, you don't just go with a backhoe and dig up, or you don't go with something that will harm the volcanoes, because we're really focusing on education. Yeah.
Great, thank you. If you could permit me to ask one more quick question.
Sure.
I'm just interested in the name. Could you just let me know? It's Mitsu, right?
Mitsu, yes.
Yeah, how did you come up with that name and what is the meaning?
Oh, so Mitsu is my daughter's name, and it means to shine bright.
Okay, thank you so much, Kathy.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge Smith. And over to Judge Alexander with your questions for Ms. Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
Hello.
So congratulations, first of all, on being able to utilize a natural resource to create a very viable and very interesting business. I have
Thank
to
you.
say that it is a very unique and very novel way of dealing with something that is naturally in the environment. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I see a lot of potential in terms of the acceptable or the not acceptable. What's the adjective I'm looking for? In terms of the possible reach for the product, right? I see this in spas, and I see it as a possible high-end product if it's marketed the right way. Is that something that you have thought about in terms of? I know you said that you do a lot of markets and artisan fairs and stuff. And would that be something that you would think about doing in the near future? And what do you think might be the greatest barrier if you started doing markets and want to enter like a spa environment to the current business model that you have?
Okay, so that's a very good question in terms of spas. I already have a list of spas requesting my product. And that's why I spoke about the production capacity, because I need to increase in terms of my production capacity and my team to really develop the strong business that I would like to see going forward. So I can see my business, I can see these products in the airports, I can see these products. The vision for the product is really not at artisan fairs, although I am there to really test the product in an environment to get feedback. But the vision for the product, I see my product in hotels representing Trinidad and Tobago. I see my product at the airports for tourists. I see my product being exported on a larger scale. And so I really think that with the innovation and with the right packaging, as you said, with the right branding, which I'm working on right now, I will be able to flip the narrative as I have now about the product.
Okay, good. And that's my only question. So thank you so much, Kathy, and again, congratulations and best wishes to you. I would buy this. I would definitely buy this. Thank you. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you, Kathy, and thank you to the judges. As your name indicates, thank you for shining bright in your moment and allowing us to buy your products to also improve the nourishment of our skin so we can also shine bright. So we wish you all the success as you continue to develop your concept and, as you mentioned, protect the environment while you do so. So congratulations on your presentation. You're welcome. And to our final finalist for this evening, we have none other than Miss Tiffany Georges closing us out today with her final presentation for tonight in the Entrepreneurship World Cup for Trinidad and Tobago. Miss Tiffany, I invite you to start unmuting, turning on your camera as you step into the spotlight tonight.
Thank you. Just bringing up my presentation.
Okay. As I mentioned, like all the other finalists, you have 3 minutes to present your business to our panel of judges. At your first word, your time will also begin. And when you reach or you've exhausted your 3 minutes, you will hear me say thank you. But I see we have a trend going on tonight with all the finalists from Trinidad that you're coming in perfectly on time. So yes, once you're ready, let me know.
Right?
Yes. Okay. So at your first word, your time will begin. Over to you.
Hello, everyone. I am Tiffany George, the president of Community-Based Action, CBA. I'm not here to tell you about programs that do not work. I'm here to tell you about one that does. CBA is a non-profit organization that provides premium academic mentorship and peer mediation community-based programs for schools. Our vision, mission, and motto at CBA are geared towards engaging, empowering, and transforming communities through our ARM program. Our ARM program consists of three main components: academic tutoring, mentorship, and peer mediation, focused to address 7 acute community problems we are experiencing today. The word society embodies the community problems AMP intends to address directly and indirectly, such as school dropouts, crime and violence, and teenage pregnancies, to name a few. Our model at CBA, we adopt a school. Using a fee-for-service model, our ARM program is tailored specifically to poise and equip students to overcome academic and behavioral challenges. According to best practice, the fastest way to close learning gaps to see academic improvement is through tutoring. We know that consistent participation in our cyclical program will greatly reduce prevalent community problems. At CBA, we recruit and screen volunteers from these 5 main groups. We train them to work alongside CBA staff to help targeted students. Can this program work? Yes. The ARM program was birthed from CBA's Homework Center program implemented in 2016. We engaged 30 students in a strong academic program and observed commendable improvements academically and socially. We evaluated and reintroduced our program, including mentorship, peer mediation, and study buddy components as a holistic approach to transform the lives of students within the education system. How will CBA be self-sustaining? Our baseline revenue generating method is to charge students a basic fee of $100 per month, which is $9 per session. A projection of working in 30 primary schools and 30 secondary schools per month will give us a total of $180,000. Quality, quantity, rehabilitation, restoration. The benefits we anticipate include educational, behavioral, relational, professional enhancement, to name a few. The funding from this competition will assist us to attain infrastructure, train staff and volunteers, purchase devices and material for students, and payment of specialized staff. Why AMP is interested to win this competition? Nelson Mandela said, "It is through education that the daughter of a peasant can become a doctor, the child of a farm worker can become the president of a great nation." AMP is certainly positioned the next generation to do so. We have a solution. You are the solution. Together, we will solve the problem. We need you to help us to amp it up. Thank you.
Thank you. Coming in just on time, and we will invite Judge Raim to kick us off with your first question.
Yes, Tiffany, you really we feel like we are ready to amp this thing up just after your presentation. It was very energetic, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Of course, you had a short space of time to give us so much information. I was busy trying to see how could I pull questions out of it because there's so many. So am I correct in saying 2016 is when you started and have already started going into schools? Is that correct?
What I did in 2016, we did a homework center project within the community. We did not go into schools, but recently when we redeveloped our entire program, we began to engage key stakeholders from the Ministry of Education, because last month, the Ministry of Education, they implemented a school intervention program and they are looking for NGOs. So we contacted them and they invited us to submit an application. We also engaged a school, like a number of schools, and they have been willing for us to begin to implement this program within their schools.
Oh, wonderful. That's great that you already went to the Ministry of Education. My next question is the fees and getting students to actually pay, because you are working right now in communities and you're going to go into schools. How do you see that working, and how do you see challenges with it's working out at $9 a session, but there are students that are unable to afford it, and if so, do you have something in place for funding these students, scholarships perhaps, and what's your plan?
Yes, we intend to do so. Within our program, we always consider the persons that are unable to afford. because the main aim behind our program is to really help to reduce the community problems in which we were able to identify. So we intend to do partial scholarships. We do not want to do anything free for anyone, because we know the mindset that when things are free, people don't tend to appreciate it. But we will offer partial scholarships for persons at reduced cost based on their needs.
Wonderful, thank you. Of course, I've got tons more, Crystal, but I'll hand over to Luke.
Yes, over to Judge Smith with your questions for our finalists this evening.
Hi, Tiffany. Great to see you.
Thank you.
I had a lot of questions too, but I know the time you presented was very confined. What I want to find out is, I know you spoke about these programs in these communities. Are you at will to say what community or district these are rolled out in?
St. Patrick.
St. Patrick. Okay,
But we
great.
had offers from Victoria District to begin to implement the program. And St.
Okay.
Patrick as well.
St. Patrick. Okay, great. And our next question, I know you said you would have reached out to the Ministry of Education, if I'm not mistaken, right? How has that feedback been?
It has been good, favorable.
That's good to hear.
Yes, really. We were very much impressed, and we're thankful for the favorable response that we received.
Right. And my last question is, I'm assuming that a lot of the work is based on volunteer participation. You know, how are you able to keep volunteers on board to see this program throughout?
Okay, so going through our entire process and building out the entire model, we know that, for instance, if I ask you and I say, Mr. Smith, would you like to volunteer in our program to help a child for 3 months? It's more than likely you may say for 2 days per week for 3 months. You may say, well, okay. But so that's what we did. We developed our program to be a cyclical program where volunteers can volunteer for 3 months instead of a lengthy period with a date that we don't know in the ending date. So it would, and we are offering them the opportunity to renew their 3-month contract, but we intend that volunteers participate for 3 months on a cyclical program. Because when we look at the school term is almost, for instance, 3 to 4 months for each school term. So when we build it out, it will actually work out.
Okay, thank you so much, Tiffany.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And over to our judge, Judge Alexander, with your questions for Ms. Georges.
So, hi, Tiffany. Hi, congratulations. I have to congratulate you again, because the work that you're doing is definitely needed in the entire country, not just in Patrick. So I want to know when you're going to be going across the island, basically, because it is definitely, when you see what's happening in the schools, and particularly after the pandemic, a lot of kids fell behind, have fallen behind, and there are a number of social, cultural issues that we have to address in schools, apart from the academic part. So do you see any growth in terms of the program being developed to address these issues? And would you consider utilizing a digital platform for a wider reach?
Well, I think that's one of the things in terms of purchasing devices to assist in terms of a digital reach. We will be doing that. However, we at present, because we have engaged a number of persons in the academic world in terms of principals, they are saying that students need the one-on-one engagement. So, and that is based on best practice and research, that is also the fastest way. We know that this program, it will address academic aspect, and because we are also including the peer mediation and study buddy components, what it intends to do, help a child from foundation to finish. Foundation, we are going to help them in terms of study buddy, prepare them, and in terms of going in towards the academic aspect, peer mediation, so they will learn how to deal with challenges, to prepare them to deal with the social world. Because if a child has a good academic IQ and they aren't able to really deal with the entire environment around them, it's very likely that the child will not reach their full potential. So our aim is really to work holistically and also expand it into every area. We are also considering, after when we develop Trinidad first, Tobago, then we intend to go regionally.
Okay, awesome. And as the CEO of the YMCA, I would definitely love to partner with you guys, particularly in the area of youth development as it relates to this program. So when you get to us, I'm here waiting to partner with you. So thank you so much, Tiffany, and I wish you all the luck with the Ministry of Education project. I know you guys have a program that is well needed and well positioned. So congratulations for that, and I wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you to our judges and to Ms. Georges for closing out the Entrepreneurship World Cup pitch presentations for tonight. Much success to you for all the work you've already done for raising our kids and building education systems in Trinidad and Tobago. We're hopeful that it spans across the region and even to the globe as you continue to develop and grow your business. Congratulations again on this presentation.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And so this has culminated the presentation portion of our competition. And now we will be opening up a private deliberation room for the judges to go in and discuss and figure out who will be the finalists that will be moving on to the regional competition come November 20th. So judges, I will open up your breakout room now. You can join that room now and enter your deliberations. You have about 5 to 10 minutes and we will hold the fort while you deliberate. Thank you so much to the judges and thank you to all the finalists. You did a fantastic job in pitching your business and presenting it here to the world. So as we wait for the judge's decision, we like to have discussions with the entrepreneurs in a more relaxed kind of conversation about your experience with the Entrepreneurship World Cup, and as well as get some ideas about where you're at, how you're feeling. So any of the entrepreneurs can unmute now and just tell us a bit about how you're feeling now that you've presented your business in the competition. Everyone's nervous, had enough of this. What's happening? Any of the finalists, you can unmute at this time.
Sorry, I just wanted to say thanks so much for the opportunity. And I think that, these are just even if you don't win, the kind of networks that you can build and for persons to always to be able to get to know what each other is doing. Because I think that we are in a time of partnerships. Right? And it's very, very good to know what other persons are doing and see how you could partner with it. Yes, this might be a competition and one person could win, but at the end of the day, it doesn't stop partnerships from forming inside of here. And so I just wanted to say thanks so much for the opportunity and bringing, so many wonderful entrepreneurs together in one space.
Thank you so much, Mr. Edwards. And in fact, we did have someone that was interested in connecting with you. So I will be sending you an email on the private, directly to you, introducing you to a voiceover actress that I'm acquainted with within my network from Jamaica. And I will be doing that connection within the next coming days. So absolutely to your point that when you enter these types of competitions, there are opportunities that span beyond just winning a competition or even being a part of the competition. As we mentioned, we're streaming right now on the Entrepreneurship World Cup platform and as well as the Entrepreneurship World Cup YouTube channel. And that is a global channel. So as you present, we know that you will be exposed to so many networks across the globe. And so it's always a great opportunity to have that moment. And to your point now, what I would like to, I think only one person got to answer that in the judges' questions, but one of the things I like to discuss with the entrepreneurs is, what is your big ask? As we are in this moment and you have the spotlight and we have a few minutes to talk, what is something that you need, whether it's money, resources, connections, mentors, no matter what it is, tell us what you need. And then secondly, what is the best way for persons to connect with you? You don't have to share your telephone number, but you can share email addresses or Facebook or social media links. So Mr. Edwards, since you kickstarted the conversation, over to you. What is your big ask and how can persons connect with you if they have a resource you need?
Well, sure. Money is always an ask, but beyond the money, networks. You see, like for instance, nobody knew. Tokotim was non-existent to everybody in that room before, right? And so the more people that you can have exposed to things that you're doing, it really, really helps, because you're able to now tweak what you're doing for an international audience. And at the end of the day, especially like in Trinidad, we get so ecstatic when somebody use our content or use a song, from Trinidad into something internationally. And when it should be the reverse, we should be exporting. Our story should be celebrated there because our culture is, And in terms of people getting on to me, I have no problem. I'm on vacation right now with my wife, so I would not get back to you telling you now until Monday. But you can get me at 1-868-763-6603. I have no problem with people contacting me directly.
Perfect. And thank you so much for being open and sharing Tokotim with us tonight. It was a very great highlight of the night. You caught me off guard. So yes, that is always exciting. Miss George, I see you turn on your camera. So yes, over to you. What is your big ask, and as well as how can persons connect with you?
Okay. Well, first I was going to ask him to repeat his contact, because I think he would be a really nice network to make in terms of the program we are running.
Absolutely.
So what do we need? We definitely need help. You said beside finances, networking I think is very important, because we are looking for volunteers out there. So if everyone would like to volunteer, we will be glad to have you all on board to really help out the students within the nation. One of the things we also need, definitely materials. We definitely need equipment to do particular assessments, manuals to help out the students, to really help them in any way possible and really poise them for success. Our aim as well is to partner with various organizations. So for instance, if we have organizations who will be interested hiring a student or teaching them skills. So over the vacation period, we can refer students to their organizations and they will be able to benefit, and the student will be able to benefit. So it would help as well to develop the entire skill level of everyone. In addition, well, in terms of contact, I can put my contact in the chat, so you can always get on board with us.
Well, and then for the global audience, yes, for the global audience, you will definitely have to say it. But for us here, you can share it in the chat. But for the global audience, maybe if you have a website or a social media page that they can follow you, you can share that publicly.
Yes, our website is cba-amp.org.
So cbaamp.org.
cba-amp.org.
Perfect. So thank you so much for your working contributions. So if persons want to connect and supply resources or volunteer with your organization, they can reach you on your website. Thank you so much for presenting tonight. Any of our other finalists, you can turn on your camera or you can just unmute and tell us about your big ask. So Miss Young, Kathy, any of you that want to share some more information about yourself as we have the opportunity to do so now.
Thank you very much, Crystal. So I would say that my, as Luke asked, other than the money, one of the things too is, and I'm really big on, is mentorship from people who have been there, done that, and walked the walk, and who can assist me with being in the right spaces and the right rooms. So for SIAL, we want to grow the B2B side of the business. So we want to grow the connections with food waste and helping businesses manage their food waste better and setting up the systems and the infrastructure to be able to do that. And we know that there are those who have done it before. And so for me, it is really about being able to learn from them, being able to, and of course, taking the Trinidad and Tobago / Caribbean context into question, what can that look like and feel like? So it's more of access to markets, is more of learning how to develop systems, and of course, how do we continue to educate about this service as well? So those are the things that really stand out for me. And just so we, continue to remain coachable and learn. I'm a student always, and so this is a fantastic opportunity for me to be able to grow and expand as well.
Thank you so much. And if companies wanted to get in touch with you to learn more about your services, how can they reach you?
So we do have a website. It's www.sialenvironmental.com. I'll put it in the chat. And I am on almost all the social media, Facebook, and the company as well. So SIAL is on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. And I am also on all of those platforms as well, not TikTok, but all of those other platforms as well, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. LinkedIn is normally the best place. So if you want to reach out to me directly, LinkedIn is the best place to do that. But SIAL, the organization, is on Facebook, Instagram, and the website. So that is generally the best way. I also have email address. So I'll put all of that in the chat in case anybody wants to reach out to me thereafter, and my phone number as well. I'm also available on WhatsApp.
Perfect. And so SIAL is spelled S-I-E-L, environmental.
S-I-E-L. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Perfect. So SIAL, S-I-E-L, environmental.com is where you can connect with Miss Coffee Young to turn waste into something of beauty. So making waste very sexy. So thank you so much for presenting tonight. And I see you turn your camera on, Kathy. So welcome to the conversation. Tell us about your big ask and how persons can connect with you.
So good night again.
Good night.
The ask is really, as I said in the previous conversation or presentation, really and truly improve production capacity and to a larger extent networking, because I am indeed a micro business. And so persons can contact me at mitsukreative.com. That's the website. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. And one thing I wanted to mention in terms of the business, I really do have a passion for reducing carbon footprint. trying to preserve soil, and also building community. So these things are passion within my business. Aside from actually making a profit, I do have a personal passion of building community and creating employment within my community. So these things are very, very important to me, aside from making a profit where the business is concerned.
Absolutely. And you mentioned in your presentation that you collaborate with tour guides to offer your product to their clientele as well. So
Yes.
is some of your, within the networks that you want to connect, create business relationships with, do those include tour operators and guides and persons like that?
Yes, on a larger scale, I actually on intervals work alongside the National Trust, right? So they would inform me when they're having tours to certain volcanoes, and I will come and speak to the visitors regarding the volcanoes and regarding the products and things like that. So it's really an interesting experience.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so it's like you're purchasing an experience because you get to find out about this dynamic product, but yes, you're looking at where it came from. So,
Absolutely.
yes, so it's really an interesting thing in terms of sharing the information, getting the information out there to the respective end user of the product.
Yes, absolutely. We can definitely see the value in creating experiences around your product. And that's something that was very interesting to me as I heard you pitch your business tonight. I love experience design, and that's something we always look forward to. So I will be connecting with you. If you drop your information in the chat, I'm sure that other persons can also connect with you as well.
Sure, no problem. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. And I believe we had one more finalist, Ms. Suku, but I believe she may have had to step away. And so we're congratulating her as well on her presentation and being here with us in the competition. And with that, I want to share some information now in terms of what happens next. So if you end up being the winner of EWC Trinidad and Tobago tonight, what happens as you move forward? So there are a few things that are happening on the regional level. First off, that we have over a dozen islands that will be competing on the regional level. And this competition will be taking place on Sunday, the 20th of November. So for you, that's only about 9 days away. In the interim between that time, you will also be invited to a rapid fire bootcamp training where we are, well, our partner company and the EWC Caribbean team trains persons on how to pitch their business and how to improve their pitching skills. And so Mr. Joshua Ford, as part of our team, will be sharing some information. So you will receive some resources from us and past videos of some training programs that we have hosted, and as well as resources in how to prepare for the regional competition. The regionals will be a competition with individual islands. So as a representative then of Trinidad, you'll be competing against other Caribbean islands. In the finals on that night, we'll be selecting one winner to represent the Caribbean region in the global finals. So the winner of the regional competition will then move on to the global competition. And at the global level, you'll be invited to an accelerator program that will be taking place, well, we're kickstarting then in January. It will be 2 months of training for them to select the top 100 finalists out of the global pool. And these global finalists then will be flown out to Saudi Arabia in March to compete in the global finals. So the top 100 finalists from across the globe. In the global pool, there are 200 entrepreneurs. So 200 entrepreneurs will be invited to the accelerator program and then shaved down or vetted them into 100 finalists that will be competing in the global finals. So the global finals are in March 2023. And if you advance all the way to that level, you will receive more information about how to, of course, present your business, but other arrangements in terms of your flights and accommodations and everything else will also be shared with you. This is a sponsored opportunity if you reach into the global top 100, which is in Saudi Arabia. Sorry, in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia in March 2023. So yes, we have several layers of things that happen from your national finals to the regional and then ultimately to the global competition. And in the interim, what I wanted to admonish the entrepreneurs to do is to also look at the perks. So I'm hopeful that when you filled out your application, you notice that there were several layers of perks that are available to you from different organizations that offer vouchers and different things to our entrepreneurs. These perks are on the discretion of the organization that supplied the incentive. So if there is any incentive that you don't have access to, that may be because that company does not operate in our region. As you know, the Caribbean region is a bit unique when in terms of some of the global products and platforms that are available. Some of them don't have operations established as yet in the Caribbean region. So we have seen in the past where some perks were not activated in our region. And don't worry, those are limited. There are a few that you do get access to. So I'm hopeful that you are going through the resources and checking out some of the perks that might be already active on your account. If anyone has any questions as we wait for the judges, you can do so now. If you have questions about the regional competition, what happens next, or anything else, you are free to ask your question. If not, also inviting, I see Ms. Suku has rejoined us. Welcome back. Thank you for coming back in.
Hi.
What we are doing right now, we're waiting for the judges' deliberations for them to decide on the winner. But what we're also doing is discussing some of the major asks from every entrepreneur, and as well as how persons can connect with you. So we know that you presented your business in the agricultural sector and distributing it across the region. What is the one thing or some of the things that you may need right now to advance your business forward?
One of the main things is having a cold storage. Because with the cold storage, I can now do some importation on goods and services that we don't have available here in Trinidad and in the region by extension. But readily and available right now, a cold storage is mostly needed for the business to boom, as I should say.
Absolutely. And so you're looking for investment then in securing a cold storage facility, or is it that you're open to sharing cold storage facilities?
No,
And
I am looking for a cold storage so that I can store produce. So in investment, I am looking for.
Oh, absolutely. So you never know, as I mentioned to the entrepreneurs earlier, we are on a global platform, and we never know who may be listening to the pitch competition this evening. And so if someone has a resource that you need, where can they connect with you?
Well, they can connect with me via email or my contact. I can share my contact. It's 1-868-337-4810, or my name, Devika, Devica, Suku, SOKOO, Agri, AGRI, @gmail.com.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Ms. Suku, for being in the competition and rejoining. We really look forward to seeing how you develop your business and continue to grow. And maybe a final question is, do you supply food and agricultural produce to your local community, and where can persons then get that kind of produce?
Well, I am based in Central Trinidad. I am also, I'm the Vice President of the Agriculture Society, so my networking is basically farmers throughout the country. So yes, I am available. Person would call me daily who cannot access produce of a certain commodity, and I will assist and direct them to a particular area or a farmer that may be having that produce grown on their farm and helping them source goods.
Fantastic. So Ms. Saku is the person to contact then if you are trying to source any agricultural product in Trinidad and Tobago. She is the person to connect with. So we encourage persons who are looking for maybe unique products or any products for that matter to connect with you to get access to the farmers in Trinidad and Tobago. And thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much for your work and contribution to our food safety and security here in the Caribbean.
Thank you.
So you're welcome. It seems that you may have given the judges lots and lots of things to discuss and deliberate about because they still aren't back from the deliberations as yet. So in the meantime, as we await the judges' results, we will be discussing a bit more about maybe even some of the work that we do here through the Entrepreneurship World Cup. So across the region, the Entrepreneurship World Cup is geared towards building and implementing EWC, which is a pitch competition in each of the islands. Our goal is really to establish this competition in all the Caribbean islands, and our team has been working valiantly to make this possible. And so what we really want to happen is that we not only create a platform for entrepreneurs to be highlighted and to share their companies and experiences in this competition, but also to upskill the organizations that are pitching in our competitions. We know that the Caribbean region produces some amazing entrepreneurs in many various sectors, and helping them to have the opportunity to be one, on a global platform, and secondly, have the opportunity to connect with maybe global resources, global networks, and advance their businesses to the scale that they can serve larger communities is some of the work that we hope to do and continue to do. So as our own ask here from the Entrepreneurship World Cup Caribbean team is for collaborative partners who are interested in upskilling the Caribbean region and providing resources that are effective to helping Caribbean and island entrepreneurs to advance their business and their skills. We're encouraging entrepreneurs tonight to network amongst each other. There's always an opportunity for you to connect with the entrepreneur next to you tonight and give them access to some of your own resources. Entrepreneurship and peer-to-peer networking has been one of the biggest impacts for myself as an entrepreneur. And I know that that is the same for a lot of entrepreneurs in the region. We grow together. And that's one of the things that I really appreciate about the Caribbean region. And I encourage our entrepreneurs to continue to do so. As we do this, I will touch in very quickly with the judges to see where they're at with their deliberations. And in the meantime, let's take a short break. All right. The judges are back. We were just going to take a short break to see what is happening with the judges. All right. So thank you so much, judges, for the deliberations. We can definitely sense that, there was some steep competition in this finals tonight. And so I will hand it over to our chief judge, Judge Tanya, over to you with the feedback and as well as the results of your deliberation.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much, Crystal. Of course, yes. To all of the participants, let us express how delightful and joyful we feel that you allowed us to step into your dream. And that's something very sacred. So thank you so much for allowing us to step into your dream, and we wish you all success. You see how long we stayed, and that was clearly because every single one of you give us headache, boy. They really give us headache. It was so close. We really look forward. I mean, I would say being a judge last year, I mean, there's so many, Crystal, there's a huge advantage of judging this, and I know that Luke and Odetta is definitely going to come back next year. In that I am using Peridot's products, by the way. I am now a customer of hers, and in connection with other contestants last year, and I intend to do the same this year. Yes, so it certainly was for us a pleasure to see what is happening in the world of entrepreneurs in Trinidad and Tobago. And I know that you're just waiting for me to shut up and hear the actual results, but I would love to give the honor of announcing the results to last year's champion, Peridot, who's done a wonderful job of putting this program together.
They are able to put back on their cameras. Ms. Rahim, the screenshot you sent me, are you able to resend it for me, please?
Sure, I'll do that right now.
Yeah, thank you. Crystal, I know normally you take a picture.
Yes,
are
indeed.
you going to do that now?
Yes,
where's Devika and Odetta?
Our virtual photo shoot right now, and take a picture with all the finalists and the judges. If you can kindly turn your cameras on, and so that we can take a quick picture. Ms. Webster is definitely holding us in anticipation of the results. So we will do our photo before we hear who the winner is. And so, Ms. Saku, if you can turn on your camera as well as Kathy, if you can also turn on your camera. Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Yes, just give me 1 minute.
No worries. Yes.
We like to also put a shout out to Tiffany's grandson for coming out to support. Tiffany bringing whole grandstand.
Yes. All right. So all smiles, everyone. Let's take a quick photo. Yes. That was one. And let's take another one. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for turning on your cameras. And I hand it back over to you, Ms. Webster, as you've given the honor to let us know the finalists for Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, thank you. So we're not going to waste any time. With a total of coming in third, we're going to do third, second, and first. It should be noted, however, that the Telephone Workers Credit Union has agreed to give this evening's winner to open an account for them along with shares and deposits. Whoever wins, that's one of the prizes that you're going to be getting. And for those that the judges have deemed worthy of getting, or those who may need additional mentorship wherever necessary, you are going to receive it. I see the connection has already been made with the CEO of the YMCA and Tiffany. So you see how everything works out, right? So in third place with a total of 47 points, we have Ms. Snaz of Mitsu Naturals. Yay! So all the nervousness with Snaz, you see? Coming in second place with 50 points, Toko Tim. And the winner for this year's Entrepreneurship World Cup, the Trinidad and Tobago representative that will go on to the Caribbean leg on the 20th of this month, is Cheyenne Puffy Young of CL Environment.
Awesome.
So you had two competitions this evening. You didn't win one. You interrupt one to go and see if your name called in the next one. But we say congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
And congratulations to Mitsu, congratulations to Devika, congratulations to Stephen. Again, as I made mention of to all of you when I contacted you, it is not a matter, yes, you win and you are happy about that, but nothing can beat the networks that you make as a result. Tiffany, I know I'm going to be hearing great things about you because you linked up with the chief pastor, and I know by next week you'll be telling me something that you worked up with Odetta, Devika, and Luke. I see your partnership there because I know that Luke is also into agriculture and Devika is also into agriculture as well. So, and I'm seeing where Mrs. Wahim and Stephen would be able to work together, etc. So what is going to happen is on my personal page, I'm going to ask Crystal for this picture, 1 and 2. Y'all are also going to see where I highlight each and every one of you on my page. And spreading y'all within my network. And the final offer, I can make mention of it for the female participants. I am also a member of AFET, that's the Association for Female Executives of Trinidad and Tobago. So y'all will be the female participants, y'all are going to be contacted by me and our incoming president for an offer that we have for you.
Fantastic.
Crystal?
Yes. Okay, so thank you to all the judges. Thank you to all the finalists, and a special thank you to you, Ms. Webster, for hosting this event and making this possible. I know that there were some touch and go moments and everything else in putting this together, but you have pulled through, and this was a fantastic event. And it is a pleasure always to be here and to hear the stories and the hard work that entrepreneurs put into their businesses as they develop, grow, and pitch. And to our finalists, our winner for tonight, Miss Sayel Environmentals, thank you so much. Your resilience did pull through, pausing the competition, as you said, Miss Webster, to make sure that you were in both spaces at the same time. That is true entrepreneurial spirit, and that is true resilience. And thank you so much for pitching tonight, and I look forward to seeing you in the regional competition. You will see me again, and so you will get communications from us, from the Entrepreneurship World Cup Caribbean team. As I mentioned earlier, you will get communications in terms of what will happen next after this and how to prepare for the regionals on the 20th. So congratulations. If you want, you can say a few words before we wrap up. I did also see your hand, Judge Alexander, so I will come to you right after. So Ms. Young, do you have any words before we close up?
All I want to say is thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. Thank you for giving me another opportunity to learn and grow and build SIL. This gift was given to me for a reason, and I am committed to seeing it be as great as I know that it can be. So I am extremely and very, very grateful. Thank you to, please send my thanks to Dr. Brandon, because it is because of her influence that I entered. Because I was not going to. But she said, Shan, you need to make sure that you enter. We need to hear more from you. So I want to say thank you to her. Thank you for the entire team for planning this. Thank you to Perry for her graciousness. And I also want to say thank you to all of the other competitors all of the other entrepreneurs, let me don't use that word, who pitched this evening as well too. Know that, the road may be long, you may feel weary, but sit but don't quit. Don't ever stop, keep going. And one day, everything that you've ever dreamed of and more will happen. So that's what I wanted to say. Thank you so much again.
Thank you, and congratulations again to you. Before we wrap up, we have a word from our Judge Alexander. Over to you.
Oh, hi. I just wanted to beg a favor for Cyan and Stephen to please work together. I would love to see a partnership there, because I think what Cyan is doing and what Stephen is doing, there's a synergy there. I would love to see you guys work together to get that message across Cyan using Stephen's platform. I'm just begging, I'm just asking if it's possible. I know everybody's busy, but it would be so nice to see something, a collaboration coming between the two of you.
Thank you so much for that encouragement, Judge Alexander. And while you guys were in the deliberations, we did share contacts and share their big ask and how we can support each other. So I'm really happy to see all of that happening. So I do second Judge Alexander's recommendation to share, contact, network with each other, and support each other as you continue to develop and grow. And with that, now we are closing out this year's Entrepreneurship World Cup for Trinidad and Tobago. Congratulations to everyone who made this event possible. My name is Crystal LeGrand, and I was your host for this evening. It is always an honor and a pleasure to be here with you. And cheers, and we look forward to seeing you at the regionals on November 20th. Look out for more information from us, from the Entrepreneurship World Cup Caribbean team. I am here representing my colleagues, Mr. Joshua Fort and Dr. Marcia Brandon. We send greetings over to you and thank you for your work here throughout the Caribbean in making these events possible. Thank you and good night.